So it's about 1 o'clock here at Hamilton City Hall, and we've got our Black Lives Matter Defund the Police Hamilton Center for Civic Inclusion or something, HPS Defund the Police rally for housing. I've been here for about an hour. No tickets have been issued, and the police presence has been rather limited, and no police have approached this rally, the Hamilton Police Services Defunding rally. And if we look over here, we'll walk over there now. We've got the, whoops, sorry, I'm going blurry on you there. The, forgive my unsteady camera, I'm trying to walk at the same time. We've got the Freedom March, or correction, Freedom Rally, which is now across the street today. They're complying with the police for reasons I don't fully understand nor disagree with.
Nothing's ever perfect, but if you're open to the side, magic in the moment, life that's only mine. Never stop loving and treating people kind. One day the world will set me free, and I'll be dancing across the sky.
I just want to start by saying we are here to safeguard the fundamental rights and freedoms according to the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Section 2C, Right to Peaceful Assembly. Section 1 of the Ontario Police Services Act reads, police services shall be provided throughout Ontario in accordance to the following principles. Subsection 1, the need to ensure the safety and security of all persons and property. Subsection 2, the importance of safeguarding the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms and Human Rights Code. Subsection 4, the importance of respect of a victim, crime, and understanding of their needs. The police have done none of this. They have failed to safeguard the fundamental rights and freedoms of all persons and property. Just look at what happened when they did at Adamson's barbecue, confiscating his property and trespassing him from it, charging him for breaking into his own property. They have failed to safeguard the fundamental rights and freedoms by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms and Human Rights Code by telling me and others that you are not allowed to protest. Sorry that you're not allowed to protest. You can protest, but you can only have 24 people as part of your protest. In what way is this protecting the Charter of Rights and Freedoms? They fail to protect the Human Rights Code by enforcing bylaws based on public opinion, such as mask bylaws. When police remove you from a store, this is pure and utter discrimination. Now, this brings me to Section 4, the Police Services Act. The importance of respect for victims and crimes and understanding their needs. Now, if you don't understand, and I have lost you on this one, we are the victims of a de facto government. And we have asked on several occasions for the police to arrest, detain, and question the Lieutenant Governor and Premier. They failed to do this. So we ask the question again. Please arrest, detain, and question the Lieutenant Governor and Premier for crimes of child abuse, criminal negligence, and healthy people abuse. Just to name a few. Freedom! Thank you all for being here. We have buttons, and we are taking donations as well. Please see Fraser as well. If you are looking for a role and looking to help out, we are having town meeting this Wednesday, December 2nd at 4 p.m. at Corktown Park. I'd like to introduce one of my members here. Caitlin, please come up to the mic.
Yes. All right. Thank you, sir. How do I use this?
Just push the button you talk.
Okay. How's everybody doing? Great on! I don't know if some of you have seen my Rebel News interview regarding my 5-year-old and his bloody mask.
Yeah!
Police don't want to do anything about it either. So finally, after it aired, I did hear from the Hamilton Wentworth District School Board, as well as their teachers and principal. So they have vowed to take a day to educate our teachers and staff members on how to properly use a mask, when not to use one, not to use a bloody mask on children, and the dangers of using them while exercising. So that is a huge win for all children here in Hamilton.
Woohoo!
And I'm not stopping until all of Ontario follows suit. Freedom!
They're useless. Awesome. Masks are useless.
Thank you, Caitlin. Can I please see Cosmic Jason Truth Authority to the mic?
Where's Cosmic?
Cosmic Jason Truth Authority to the mic.
Here he comes.
He's got to make an entrance.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I've never used that, man. Oh, wow. All right. Thank you, Anthony. Is this how you use the bullhorn?
That's how you use it.
Right on. I want to thank each and every one of you. Like I said in the last speech, it was my first one in front of this amazing group, Huds Over Mass. You guys are fighting, you know what you're doing, right? We want to stop the tyranny. Pardon? We're fighting for your rights.
Fighting for our rights as Canadians. I just had a nice conversation, somewhat of a conversation, with these nice officers, police officers. You got Black Lives Matter over there, great people as well, right? But I think the one thing that group fails to address, you tell me if I'm right or wrong, is that every major movement, and I want the police officers to hear this, every major movement, what happens when you have a bottoms-up revolutionary movement? The police join the working class, right? And sometimes even the military. I might have an informant at Lockheed Martin. Anyway, they join the working class and they say enough is enough, and they say basically screw off to the establishment. Am I right?
Yeah.
Woo! Right? Are we getting to that point here in Canada, around the world?
I reached it 45
Right?
years ago.
You better believe it. And the impetus for this shutdown and lockdown. I want you to understand something. In Denmark, I learned from the great Dr. Shiva, who has a PhD from MIT. He's got a bottoms-up movement, right, in Massachusetts. He exposed the gross election fraud that he said Trump should have known about, where they got a kill switch, a software, okay? He's got 4 degrees. He's got a bottoms-up revolutionary movement in Massachusetts. Well, we're going to have that in Canada, mark my words, right? And we're going to win. Because Bill Gates, for example, the Old Boys Network that I go after, YouTube just deleted my channel, but I'm on BitChute, thankfully. I'd love for you guys to come on over. But anyway, right? Yes. Yes, we can shout that all day. But Bill Gates, I want you to hear this. You know the numbers. He's making $1 billion a week. He's made $23 billion in 2 months. Jeff Bezos, who's not a dirty player, quite like Bill Gates. But you talk about the greed to go around with some of the billionaires. Jeff Bezos has increased his wealth by $73 billion. 630 American billionaires have increased their net worth by $2.7 trillion. They're running off like bandits through this crisis. The virus is real. We know it, even though they can't isolate it. But young people almost always are going to be fine. Our kids are masked up. I just did a video at a kindergarten school. The teacher was kind enough to ask me, I asked him some hard questions. And I said what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said, right, with the Children's Health Defense Fund. He said briefly, I'm sorry I'm talking so fast, I got caffeine in me. I'll take a pause. But Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I thought he said something so amazing, and it's so true. Do you agree that our kids, our children, and we got a beautiful mother over here, she was interviewed on Rebel News Caleb, right?
We're exposing the corruption. Our children are being treated like a biohazard, wearing masks. You may get the sniffles, a child. Come on, they got strong immune systems. And as Dr. Shiva and doctors know that are not beholden to Big Pharma, adults and children, we're designed to encounter virus. We have 380 trillion. And we know who the virus targets, right? My sister's a nurse. She's going around to the older people. It's generally 78 and up, right? That are immune compromised, that have other comorbidity issues. Yes, the governments, the health officials, that should be the priority. Look after them, the elderly and the sick. We've had 8 months to do research on this, right? You guys are doing research. You're digging in for the truth. You know the numbers. Again, like the last speech I said, I asked you the question, how many deaths between 0 and 20 years old, for example? What's the answer?
One.
There you go. Or
No,
maybe-
that was reversed.
or
It's
maybe
0.
zero. One.
The guy fell off a ladder and broke his neck.
Exactly. And never forget the spiritual component. Yes, we know every death's sad, life goes on. We're in this together. Never compromise your health integrity. How many deaths in Canada, across Canada, from 0 to 59 years old? What was the number, roughly? 275, according to Chris Sky in Toronto, and he does this research, right? We know
They
it.
all had comorbidity.
Is that a pandemic?
It's not
Right?
a pandemic.
Exactly, 90%.
It's a
We're,
regular flu.
I believe, we're 90% were 65 and older, probably 79, 80 and older, that have other
I'm 73.
Thank you. That have other comorbidity issues. Okay? So let's have perspective here. And the police officers, I wish they'd get over here. I'm on their side, but take off your masks. I'm so furious. Why are they wearing masks? Why are the teachers, and I know there's a lot of great teachers out there, I'm on their side too, but unite, stop the mandating a mask. I'm so fed up. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. Our most basic personal freedom is showing your face, right?
Exactly.
So why are the officers,
Only thieves wear
the
masks.
police officers come outside and they charge this trumped up charge against Anthony, our amazing organizer, amazing person fighting for our rights, and they give him a charge, and they came out with, they came out, listen to this, guys and gals, ladies, gentlemen, they came out, did you see the video? The 2 officers, I'm sure they're doing great work, they were wearing masks. Why would you wear a mask outside? You're healthy officers, Anthony's healthy, I mean, I just don't get it. I don't
Only thieves
understand.
and crooks wear masks.
Exactly. And these businesses. Now let's talk for a moment, if I may. Can I talk about the lockdowns briefly? If anybody wants to listen, you all know this though. We had an amazing. There's a barbecue in Toronto, business owner. We are exposing the corruption. They had so much support. Was it 8,000 people because they're being shut down and arrested? Is that correct?
I think
Illegally.
Thank you. But here's the point. As Dr. Shiva said, a few weeks ago, he said, and I know it's easier said than done, he said small businesses have to say no. And then one after another, right? And they got the solutions. I mean, if you want a little bit of caution, I understand, absolutely. But you can have a bit of social distancing going into a business if you need be. And then the mask, right? If you're in a business owners, they know how ridiculous it is. We all talk about it, right? You sit down, you take off your mask to eat. So why are we going into Starbucks and everywhere else? To think that you got to wear a mask. And we know they even have to say there's all kinds of reasons to be exempt. You just say you're exempt, correct?
That's all.
Right? Which is wonderful. And we got the Canadian Human Charter of Rights that Anthony talks about, a lot of you talk about in the group, that overrides any bylaw, right? And now we got lockdown depression. You talk about an exempt. We got lockdown depression, lockdown fatigue, but we're going to hold exercise classes. And I want the police to see that you never compromise your health integrity. We all make mistakes, but let's exercise. We're going to have kids playing tag, hopefully. We'll see if it goes down, right? What else do you want to talk about? Should I talk about, or ask me a question, or should I ask you guys a question? Yes, sir.
What about the possibility that the World Health Organization has a little bit more intelligence than everyone present here, have talked to the Asians long and extensively about the nature of virology, and we're looking at some really bad bugs coming at us? Should I stop?
Got it. No, right there, perfect. The World Health Organization, I love it. Please give me time to say this, guys. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and so many people show you. These are called captive agencies. I want this man to listen. The WHO used to do a very good job, used to in the poor countries, right? Africa, India with nutrition, sanitation. But when Bill Gates got in there, he said we'll do a little bit of that, but we're going to focus on vaccines. The whole impetus, and these police officers can know it, the whole impetus for this largely is the vaccine story. And as I said in the last video, it's not just that. We know it's a depopulation, population control story for the loved ones that have been infected and died from this virus. They're being used as cannon fodder right now, which, as I said in the last video, and the people have said, right, is the ultimate desecration of their honor and integrity. The WHO now are controlled by Bill Gates 10%, right? And we know they'll bend over backwards for that 10%. They are owned by the industries that they're supposed to regulate, right? They get half their money from Big Pharma. The CDC, the captive agency. My sister's a registered experienced nurse. They all know how corrupt these agencies are, right? The CDC spends 45% of their budget on vaccines. The European Medical Agency gets half their money from Big Pharma. As Robert says, we should be in this position, right? That's why we're not getting good science, he says, and I agree with him. We're not getting good policy, and we're not getting good regulations. But we can end that. And these people in these captive agencies, we didn't elect them, correct? We didn't elect them. So let's get our power and sovereignty back, my friends. Because I'm telling you, what some of the establishment wants, they want to take the last oasis of our freedoms, as Dr. Shiva says, right? They want to take our health, and they want to do it primarily through vaccines, but we're not going to allow it. It's that simple. People are waking up to this issue. Thank you so much, everybody. I know I'm wound up.
You got a question.
Excited.
You got a question.
Life is amazing, and we are going to fight for Canadians, and we are going to win. We are going to win this battle, my friends. Awesome, thank you, and never let them threaten your threshold of attainment. Let's have global vigilance for victory. I've had a lot of caffeine, but I feel great. Thank you so much for that opportunity. Thank you.